Shoshana, thank you so much for taking some time with us today. I am Tamra Ward, the Executive Director of Move Colorado, and we're just so thankful that you would spend some time talking with us about all of the key issues that are underway with regards to Colorado's transportation system. And I thought, really to set the stage, would you tell us a little bit about, as you reflect back on 2022, what you're most proud of for you and your CDOT team?
Absolutely. 2022. And first, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here and nice to have the chance to do this. 2022 is a busy year. We got a lot done, following on a number of years where we've gotten a lot done. And what kind of stands out to me about 2022 is it was really a year of execution on a lot of fronts, right? We just are kind of on the heels of a major transportation legislation at both the federal and state level. And, here we are able to get big projects done. Big projects started, rural roads fixed across the state, and able to kind of show those dollars at work in every corner of Colorado. At the same time, getting kind of outside the box and launching creative solutions like Pegasus, the new shuttle on I-70, to intended to give people more choices, just as we're getting started on the Big Floyd Hill project that you've all heard of. And really starting to think about what it looks like to kind of integrate sustainability into our transportation system in a way that gives consumers more options. I'd be remiss in 2022 not to give a kind of accolade to our teams who operate and maintain the roads in Colorado, right? It's no secret that there are big workforce challenges in the sector across the country, across the world. And the work that's happening in the CDOT Maintenance and Operations Division to kind of cultivate a workforce of the future, think creatively about paying people what they're worth, teach people new skills so that if they come to us without a commercial driver's license, they can earn one and, kind of come out of that first year with a career, have really put us in a place where, while a lot of people are offering up problems, we believe that we're offering solutions. And, the fact that there was a good quality of service during, Christmas week and other times we were just talking about the holidays, is something people should be able to take for granted, but it doesn't just happen, right? And it doesn't happen without a team that comes together and takes challenges head on and thinks about how we do it, not whether we can do it.
That's well said. And we're all so thankful for you and your team and all of the day-to-day execution that's required to keep us and our business community running. So thank you for that. The General Assembly is back in session. Obviously, the governor provided his State of the State and his second inaugural address in the last week. When you have met with the governor and talked about this legislative session, what are some key items that you're expecting to see this session, and what are key priorities for Governor Polis?
Sure. We've heard a lot of really exciting policy announcements coming out of the State of the State address, and a lot of them really touch on transportation, both directly and indirectly. I think one thing you heard a lot about in the State of the State is the incredible need for housing across Colorado and the role that state and local governments play in providing people, again, with those choices and the options for places they can afford to live proximate to their jobs and the places they want to be, right? That obviously has a transportation component. And at CDOT, you may have heard a line where he tasked us to work with our colleagues and neighbors across the state and think about what a transit vision for Colorado looks like, because with the growth that we're seeing, being strategic about where the travel sheds are and how we kind of connect homes to jobs, to schools, to places of recreation that are also jobs, that's not just going to happen if we don't start talking about it and thinking 2 steps ahead of where we need to be. So I think our view at CDOT is we have one of many parts to play in a big conversation that you heard the governor talk about relating to land use, and not getting behind the challenge the way other places like California have.
That is a great point. And as you well know, Move Colorado believes in the importance of a multimodal system. And that means all of these different modes working together to relieve congestion. And you mentioned Pegasus. Obviously, Mustang is a key a key transit related type of effort. Zero fare was really successful. What types of things are you thinking about with that transit investment piece? Will we see more with zero fare, other systems?
Sure. First of all, I think it's important to harp for just a moment on how successful Zero Fare was.
Yeah.
Sort of under advertised by RTD in some ways, but I think we were all pleasantly surprised by how successful it was. We weren't sure what was going to come out of it. It was an experiment, and seeing a 20% ridership jump is what success looks like, right? Numbers speak for themselves. And we saw similar things in the smaller areas that utilize the program too. So, in Pueblo, transit ridership was up 59% over August 2021. Durango Transit saw something like a 36% increase, Greeley 38. So there's these examples across the state of it working. And, I think the bill was always intended to be a 2-year package. And the fact that it was so successful in its first year means that, doubling down on making it work even better in the second year is really important. I think there's conversation in the legislature about some sort of minor tweaks to the program to make it work even better. I think Senator Winter is looking at, what could you do to increase the uptick in the biggest rural authorities. So, for example, the rural bus services that are the most widely utilized actually didn't enter the program, in part because there were challenges like they couldn't use it during the winter, right? Mm-hmm. Busy season if you're RAFTA or the Summit Stage is not in August.
Sure.
So I think there's surgical tweaks that folks are looking at to make sure that we really optimize performance, but it's a 2-year program, and heading into it, I think there's another year of success ahead of it. The bill also included more funding for Bustang to increase services like Pegasus and in general service across the I-70 corridor, and we're scaling up as fast as we can. It's scaling up a transit frequency package doesn't happen overnight in the bus driver climate we're in now, but Pegasus in its first few months saw something like 30+% ridership, which for a brand new service is really good.
That's remarkable. That's great news. Well,
we're also hearing anecdotal, we do a little bit of secret shopper with these buses. So one of our colleagues took I think the Loveland bus over the weekend and reported she could not get one on A-Base, and it was one of, I can't remember exactly, but the buses were filling up and we need more, was her report.
All right, well, that's good news. Definitely good news. Good snow and good transportation options. Yeah. That's all great.